Anyway, wow, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I'm gonna trip over my words. This is the brand new 2024 resolution reading. We have details of how to work with the energy all the way through. And as those experiences come up, we look at them and go, oh yeah, I saw this coming. You can't have more power than trusting your intuition and your instincts. That's as powerful as we can possibly feel in this world, is knowing what to do when the unexpected circumstances of life come at us. It's sort of a rainbow, rainbow bridge from where we are right now to where we want to be a year from now. It's not laid out in months, it is laid out in seasons. So we are here in time. The way that it's designed for Black Friday, there is a special introductory price because this is the brand new 2024 resolution reading. And if you're doing this with me right now, right around Black Friday, then we are entering the holiday season. We're sitting here in 2023, a rainbow bridge from now into next year. We have winter, spring, summer, fall. That brings us all the way back around to this season in 2024. So this is a full year. So we can lead into the next year. And it gives us details about maybe a theme, a lesson, or something that we are going through in each season, and how to play with or work with the energies to not make it, I would say, easier, but to learn what we are supposed to learn so we don't keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over and feeling powerless within them. So we move through the whole year like that. And then if we wanted to use this in a way that is a smaller time period, let's say week 1, 2, 3, and 4, starting now, and our goal for next month. Or if we lay it out, let's say December, January, February, March. So whenever you're doing this, we start it from this point now, and we move into the next season, the next week, the next month, however you need this structured for you. And for Black Friday, there is a special going on. I've never done that before. For the holiday season, there's going to be a buy one, get one. You can get one for yourself and a friend, because it's really important to not only feel this for ourselves, but then to share that experience, because it is so freaking powerful. So here we go. This might be for me a little bit. This might be for you a little bit. Whatever you feel here, if you take something from this, if it means something to you, it's for you. If you don't feel anything or it means nothing to you, it's not. And please share this with, if you know somebody who connect with this message, please share this with them and encourage them. And I encourage you to try this for yourself. I will stop rambling and actually start with the reading. So here we are at the very center. We are starting in this period right now. This is the present moment, 2023, 2024. But what is the center of our lives right now? Meditation. Okay, that is the theme. That is the feeling. If you watch the beginning of this, you can see me shuffle through all these. You see the cards come out, and you see exactly the process that I go through. So as these come out and the messages line up, that is what feels so freaking wild. So stepping into our 2023 present meditation, we are connecting with ourselves. I'm going to try to remember to do this. We are looking at ourselves as like the vessel, the portal, the channel. All of the energy that we are holding, all of our power is here. Okay, we're incubating it, we're holding it, and we are amplifying it. So 2023, the right action. Let everything that wants to go, go. And everything that wants to come, come. What if it isn't true? So there must be something, either that we think that we have to do, some sort of perfectionism, something in our lives that a belief that has been planted about who we are and what we are doing that maybe is sending us in a direction other than feels right to us in our core. The thing you are telling yourself right now, the concrete reasons why you think you don't belong, you can't do it, you won't get there, why you're not enough, why it's not for you. What if that wasn't true? Okay? What is the right action? And maybe the right action that we need to focus on is what feels right to us, what feels free, what feels like it opens us up and feels true to us and not true to other people. Okay, and that is where what we are sitting in right now. Maybe this is a theme that's been going on for you quite a while. I feel it. But within this is where we sit. This might be a pattern that's been going on or something that feels new. And in the 2024, I don't know if this is a goal for you, a focus, or what that feels like, but what we are moving into, am I clear on what my soul really wants? You see how that can almost match up here, clarity and truth, and how those can get intermixed with our beliefs are coming from someone and somewhere else beyond our own experiences? Reframe it, okay? This is happening for me, not to me. So if we are feeling boxed in, if we are feeling stuck, what is that about? Why? Is there a reason, a direction, a partnership, something that we are sitting in that is not right for us? The only way to know what feels right, what is clear, what's true, the way that we're supposed to go is to reframe our perspective, okay? It's not about being self-centered, but it is about knowing exactly who we are within that entire mix of emotions and feelings and beliefs. Trusting that our dreams are where the mind translates the divine. So we're sitting in this and we are allowing information to come through to us from a place that is subconscious, because our spirit wants to teach us something different. So do you see how this matches up here? What if it wasn't true? What does that feel like? That feels like a cage. And here we see the freedom, all this freedom here. Great work, well done, good job, terrific, way to go. We are being cheered on from a place beyond this physical manifest place. So if we are not hearing this in our lives, it is being screamed, shouted, sung from the cosmos. But we have to be in this place to hear it. We have to receive it. And if we are not receiving it on this level, then we need to realize how we can receive that on a soul level. And do you see how that all comes together? So this is the journey we are going on this year. This is a full year's journey. We sit here and this is what we are going through. But now we get to talk about how each one of those layers can play out, and how we may use the energy, work with it, play with it, mold it, and create something that we didn't even know that we were moving into. So first, let's start with winter. Before we go into what are we going to do with that, let's look at winter and see what is unfolding. Holistic health. Colors also match with the chakras. So I want you to pay attention to color. I want you to pay attention to the wording and be taking note of these things. Get a notepad if you don't already have one out. If you already feel like this is starting to align or come together in a way that you're like, oh shit, get a notepad now and start taking notes. Pause it, because that's what this is for. It's recorded so you can take it at your pace, and so that we don't forget. We can play things over and over, because if you sat down with me right now, we would forget 98% of what was spoken here. So, holistic health, something we are focusing on in our bodies, transforming the way that we take care of ourselves. I want you to transform right here and now the way that you think of the word health. This is our root chakra. And the way that we think of health has a lot to do with the perceptions around us and our beliefs. Not anymore, okay? That whole entire frame of mind is shifting. So as we move into this holistic health shift, what we are going to do then, like the whole thing, our whole worldview is turning upside down. Something is changing. The way that we used to see our health and our body and how we viewed ourselves is different. There is nothing that we have to hold ourselves to. There is no standard. There is no right way. We are meant to center ourselves, and we are meant to be confident. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. And the most important thing with our own confidence is that we own it, right? We are centered in it. So if you're not centered in your confidence, who will center you? If we don't know how to access this, who will believe? Again, who will believe us? If we feel something in our spirit, yet we don't move into and own and stand firm in those lessons of our spirit, if we don't sit here and own the energy and channel it and focus it and believe in our own power, if we doubt and doubt and doubt and doubt and doubt, we will never experience the the alignment of that energy. And that is what we're moving into, is the alignment of that energy, how powerful it gets when we focus it. We are protecting, quieting our mind. You are what you think, okay? So as we're moving into this holistic health, I love that she's holding her body as the earth, right? The earth and body are one. So we are learning to protect ourselves, not only from the world, okay? That's part of it, from the world, but our beliefs, what we think about ourselves, gets in the way of our natural wellness. We are born, not everybody, we have genetic predispositions, but if you consider energetically, if you think that energy is real, that these waves and vibrations and sounds and all of this transforms, that light waves, that all of this, not even think, it's scientifically proven, but if you sit there and you believe it and you've experienced these feelings in your body, actually letting go of or being uplifted energetically, then you understand how attuned you can become to the earth, how attuned you can become to the lunar cycles and the seasons and the circadian rhythms. But if we allow our minds to overtake the natural algorithms, okay, of our own bodies, what happens is we get an unnaturally shaky sense of self. That confidence that we feel, that alignment, that natural, the way that this holistic confidence, right, in our belief in ourselves, the way that that funnels together, the way that it aligns and brings things together is natural. Now, we may have issues. Holistic health means different things. And I'm going to challenge you to say it doesn't mean eating a particular thing, doing a particular thing, committing to a particular thing. Except for that, we start to neutralize our beliefs, things that we were taught about our bodies, our minds, aging, food, and we start to neutralize those things and feel what we feel like when there's no guilt, no shame, no perfectionism. When we are not holding ourselves to external expectations, and we just allow ourselves to relax into what feels natural and right to ourselves, that we do more good for ourselves than any regimen we could hold ourselves to, unless we have to hold ourselves to a very particular regimen for a very particular reason for a very particular amount of time. I challenge you to relax into the natural cycles of your body and your life, to start to trust that you have a natural sense of self-control, and that there is nothing inherently wrong with what you do and believe and eat and crave, and the way that you think, the way that you move. But you have to stop getting stuck in the thought process and let yourself naturally relax into what is right for your body. And do you see exactly, we already spoke of this, but you are what you think, and it is time to quiet your mind. It is time to relax into yourself, into your body, and let yourself be, I say, who you are meant to be, but really relax into what you are meant to believe about yourself, what you are meant to hold and feel and experience, because it is not meant to be so painful. It is meant to be an experience, right? Next, we are moving into the upcoming month, which is going to be spring. So we have moved through winter, okay? In winter, this is what we're working on. Our health and reshaping our beliefs around our bodies, okay? We are focusing our health on natural, holistic beliefs, not about performance-based beliefs, not about rightness-based beliefs, things that aren't, we don't have to do anything. We are channeling our energy and we are relaxing into it, and we are neutralizing beliefs from the outside. And we are now moving through winter, we are now starting to believe that we know what is best for ourselves, best for our bodies, and it does not take all of this work. Every time we feel guilted and shamed, we move away from that quietly. Okay? That is the space we are moving into for spring. Self-mastery. Okay? Focusing on self-mastery is so interesting. So I shuffled the hell out of these, and I'm getting all this. I'm getting so many of the same cards that came up when I did this for myself. So part of this is for me. It's resonating for me, and I hope it's resonating for you as well. So in the spring, now we have a confidence in this. We have a confidence in this sense of health. And now we are mastering that, okay? Things were just turning around for us in the winter. But in the spring, we know exactly what we're doing. We are standing with our head held high. We are standing firm in our beliefs, and we are following our instincts, because that's what leads us to the truth. So do you see how we're coming back? In the spring, we're still looking at this lesson that we were learning right now here in the fall. What if it wasn't true? We were focused then about this right action, right, what was right based on someone else's thoughts. And now we are focused on our instincts, because that leads to the truth. That's exactly what we were focused on, what we moved into the winter focusing on. So now we're feeling confident. We're feeling confident that we know what's right for ourselves, that nobody knows us better than we know ourselves. Nobody, right? And that's a really important life skill. It's a really important part of like growing up, okay, that a lot of us just kind of skip over. And I hate to say that, but a lot of us skip over the sense of self, because we weren't really encouraged to develop that when we were young and based on like school or family situations. And now we don't know what to do with all the freedom. And we're latching on, we're looking for someone to guide us. We have to learn to trust ourselves. And that doesn't make me a lot of money to tell you that, okay? What would make me money is to tell you to trust only me. But that doesn't make sense, because I don't want to guide your life for you. I want you to feel powerful stepping out of this in where your life is going for the next year. And I want you to take those reins, and I want you to come and step into it and clarify this even further with me. So here is the subtlety that we're moving in between winter and spring, now that we've been working with these lessons. And I want to remind you that you have every right and every choice not to work with any of this. You don't have to do any of this. But if you want to move through this cycle, if you want to feel these shifts happen, they will if you sit in these lessons. You cannot rush through them. You know what they are. And if you don't like them, well, you're going to avoid them. And they're still going to exist. This whole thing is just going to shift over to next year if you don't want to deal with it right now. All right? If we don't want to deal with it right now, if we don't want to sit in it, if we don't want to sit that our bodies respond to what we believe about them, then we won't have the confidence in this season, and the whole entire lesson will just be prolonged. So in between winter and spring, we have blessings coming in. It says small steps, big accomplishments. Patience is within me. So this is a season, a whole season. This is months here, okay, that we are sitting in this. This is winter. This is quiet time. And what it is saying is, as we sit in this, one little belief step at a time, one tiny little belief step at a time, it feels different. It really is just a shift of how it feels in our hands. Before we were holding the whole world. We were trying to protect everybody and everything. We were trying to protect ourselves from something. And what it was doing was blocking our blessings. And we realize at this point is that it only takes just little tiny soft steps. It doesn't take harshness. It doesn't take an abrupt spirit. It doesn't take anything. What it takes is focus. Do you see this? The turtle is also sitting in the world. Okay, and now I'm going to start I'm not going to make it it's going to be not cute in a second. But do you see again how the themes move through? Wheel of Fortune. Again, that's the world. We have the world here. We're moving into the spring. We have the world. That is how the theme continues to spread. When you see the energy, it literally shifts across. It doesn't move as quickly as we imagine it will. So the energy isn't going to move as quickly as we lay it out here. And that is an important note to make, is that this is months. It took 5 minutes to talk about, maybe 10, I don't know, I'm long-winded. But I hope you're enjoying this, by the way. But That's the whole point, is this is 3 months. This is 3 months. These are months of time. That's why we have to learn to just relax into it. That's the whole idea, is relaxing into it. As we're shifting through, here we go, into summer. Now, if we are working with this energy, if we are feeling accomplished with these small steps, and we're feeling our confidence, and we're stepping into that self-belief, we're gonna feel like by this point next year, within a half a year from now, we're gonna feel completely different about ourselves, especially our bodies. The way that we look at our health, our lives, the way that we move, why we eat what we eat, and the ways that the people that we spend time with, our energy, we're gonna start to look at our lives completely differently. But if we don't, it's okay. But we are still going to be working with this 6 months from now. So, but if we just softly sit into it, sit with this, journal about it, play with it, talk about it. Maybe write this down in your calendar and see what happens over the next year. Test me out, see if it works. See if any of this plays out for you. But you have to do the work. You can't sit here and go, oh, well, it doesn't work. You have to step into it. These are just the guidelines for us to look at, us, because this is also for me. If you are enjoying this, please save it, share it with your friends, take your notes. I hope that you are enjoying this and that you want to come back for more. I have not done readings like this in a while, but this seemed kind of fun, and I wanted to sample it. I wanted to try it out. I wanted to see how it lays out. I never actually know, because I haven't done this for anybody else. I just make this up, and I kind of decide what I want, and I start playing with my decks and what feels right. And I have so many, the whole catalog, like a whole library. And so I love when you come to me and you can pick out the ones that you like, and then you see the messages lay out before you. And anyone who's ever done a reading with me has experienced that. And you can comment on it if you have, but it's so interesting. And I don't always realize that. To me, I don't necessarily have that confidence going in, or at least I didn't. I do now, but I didn't when I first started, because you don't know how other people are going to experience it. But now I do. Now I know that you, maybe not you, but you people who have sat down with me have experienced this in any way that we lay it out, whether you choose it, shuffle it, or I do, as powerfully as I experience it every single time. I don't know why. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very honest about that. But I do hope that you are enjoying yourself. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, whatever. I don't know. All that stuff. Whatever. Anyway, summer, we are focusing on communication, okay? Grounding. Sink your roots in deep. And here we have the Devil. Now, what that's going to mean is there might be, I want to say deception, but distortion in communication. Are we communicating differently? We might be. Here's the thing. When we get grounded in a new belief, that does not mean that everyone is there with us. Okay? So a lot of times what happens is people are still stuck in their old way of thinking. They think fear. They can't jump into the sense of ease and neutrality with you because they are used to struggling. Okay, we are used to we talked about this a little bit ago. We are used to looking for something to direct and guide us. And if we don't have a sense of self, if we weren't encouraged when we were young to have a sense of sovereignty and self within all of our experiences, what is going to happen is we are always going to be seeking a new master. We are always going to be looking for something to tell us what to do, something or somebody. And we see this, I'm not going to get into specifics, but we see this in every facet of our culture right now. Every spectrum of fame, whether it is social media or entertainment of any type, political, entertainment of like athletics, we see a really, really odd type of belief system where people are just looking for something to believe in. People, don't have necessarily that depth or that sense of foundation. So you sink your roots deep and connect them to the heart of the earth, all the way back here. Okay, what if it isn't true? We have to remember that in the world, even the sense of distortion and evil is the devil, right? So I'm not saying what if that isn't true, but what if what we see as evil, what if we're even taking that all the way back to our health? What if we're even taking these misconceptions, these paradigms of belief that were planted into us by generations of before us that were buying into something they didn't understand? Perception, superficiality, beauty, different things like that. But we are talking about our bodies. We are talking about what we feel like and our health and the accomplishments and what that feels like. And now we're feeling confident in that. But when we go in to communicate that to the rest of the world, to our friends and family and stuff, people don't always understand, and we don't always understand why they don't get it. There is a fear associated with letting go, even with self-regulation and trusting ourselves, that there's a lot of people that are not willing to put that kind of pressure on their own beliefs and backs. They are not willing to, because it is terrifying to let go of everything that you ever knew, everything that you ever thought that you understood, and then give in to a new, like, wow. But that is what life feeds us over and over and over. And until we are willing to step into that, we're always going to feel like we are caged in some sense, right? And that is again where we start here. What if it isn't true? We already talked at the very beginning of this, we talked about reframing a sense of perfectionism based on what others have told us to believe. Now we see it. We see it in the world, and maybe not like the devil, that it's evil, but we see that there's perceptions, there's perspectives. Everything is not black and white. Based on where you're born, who you grew up with, you have all kinds of different perceptions of the world, things that happen to you. No one person, no matter how closely we align on our beliefs, can believe exactly the same thing. We never will. We will always at least need to discuss it. And if there are if there are barriers in between us, the way we communicate, even because we feel emotional about it on some level, because we feel unsettled about it, if we can't be neutral and sit in these topics, if we don't have that sense of self-mastery where we can literally just sit with our soul and know what is true and let other people also have their own experience and trust them to regulate and control their own journey. Trust that just like we have a path and we want to feel free in it, that they have a path, they want to feel free in it too. And if we can let them stand on their own 2 feet, that they might just step up, run, fly. They might just exceed our wildest expectations if only we believe in them, if only we believe in ourselves. And it's all that mirror, right? If we get derailed by their doubts in us, or if they can pull our energy back down to where it existed, then we're going to be right back here again. Okay? That's why it takes time to build this confidence. The patience. We have to take the small steps and sit in it, because we have to plant those roots so deep before we begin to spout. You've done that. We've all done that, where we heard something and we went and told everybody, and then we got freaking, do research that. People come after us and we don't realize how deep people's beliefs are rooted. And so we have to realize what type of communication needs to be delivered in order to make a message like that land with people. Even the people who love us the most can't always receive what we have to say. All right, in between this, we are focused on love. Okay, this is the center of this whole thing, is the center of love. Self-love, especially. Get out of your head, running through that theme again. You are what you think. Quiet your mind. Patience is within me. Confidence. Okay. Self-mastery. We're coming all the way back around. We're still there. We're still in the same place. Perfectionism. Get out of your mind and sit in your heart. Sit in your body. Okay. The heart chakra. Green. It's body. That's the body chakra, earth, body, heart are all aligned in the chakras. So you have to understand where that center is and what that energy is. It's not, the answers are not here. Okay. The truth is not a thought that we're having. The truth is what feels right in our spirit. And that is where we have to just anchor over and over and over again. The universe is speaking. Listen with all your heart. Do I even have to elaborate on that? I think I've elaborated more than enough on more than enough things. So now we want to move into the fall. So as we're sitting with this, you see how the lessons are anchoring in. So as we move into the self-mastery, in this communication, this is a level of challenge in the summer. When we believe our beliefs have shifted, when we have shifted, eventually we have to communicate that we can keep these things, these beliefs and thoughts intimate to ourselves, private. But if we start to keep things secret based on shame and guilt or perception management, it's going to start to feel again like a cage. So it won't even matter that our beliefs shifted. We're not going to be able to communicate directly with anyone in our lives about it. So as those roots of something new plant deeper and deeper and deeper within us, we cannot even tell the people who care about us, who we love, and that creates more of this self-deception, this self entrapment. Okay, so the key here is to patiently sit with and move through all of it, because we are reframing what our souls are clear about. And the point of all of it is to be proud of ourselves, to feel the accomplishment, to feel that we can trust ourselves at a gut level and that we are doing everything we need to do. Okay, now we are moving into the fall. So this is kind of like a year from now. This is about a year from now. What have we been doing? What have we been sitting on? What have we been working on? And how do we feel is the biggest thing. How do we feel in our bodies? How do we feel about ourselves? How do we feel about what we've learned in the journey? All the way back around. Look at this. It's earth. We're holding earth in the hands. Again, earth at the heart center. Again and again and again, we are being told just to sink into the natural rhythms of ourselves and the earth. Relax into anything. It doesn't matter if you think it's wrong, unless it's hurting other people. Again, unless it's keeping secrets that might grow into something rotten or harmful, if secrets are being kept in a way that they are growing out of control, or you're in an environment that you can't be open, those are things to manage, okay? Those are things on the heart level where we have to get out of our head and we have to move into what feels safe, what feels free, okay? And maybe if we feel trapped in the places that we exist, our safe places, our home places, then we need to get out of those places. There's no other way about it. Safely, we have to move through that and center back into ourselves. So there's like a nostalgic sense of what we were feeling last year, okay? So again, this is fall of next year. This is about a year from now. So we're having like almost a nostalgic sense of where we started. How far have we come in the past year? Recognizing the divine in the mirror, because we have moved through all of this. So at this point next year, we are sitting in a self-reflective state of how far we have come. We have literally been on a soul's journey over the last year. We have done incredibly deep work on ourselves, and that is where we're moving into recognizing that, being proud of ourselves, proud of literally sitting. We're probably eating more, we're probably doing less, you're probably going to be less productive on a physical action-based level than you ever have been before. You're probably going to eat more food than you ever have been. You're probably going to just relax. And you're going to love it, and you're going to feel healthier. And it's going to shift your perceptions about what your life felt like, what it was supposed to feel like, what you're supposed to be doing. So from summer into fall, family, okay? So the communication, that misperception, that sinking in, that is communicating with family. That is telling the people who we love, who we are becoming. No exceptions. Okay? The key is to go inward. The key is to go down into that. Real change starts from inside you. Look at that. You go all the way in, and you have to be honest, and that is the key. Okay? Not if it puts you in harm's way, not if it puts you in danger, but the key here, moving through all of this, is communicating with love. Those people who know you, who love you, it is no telling how these conversations will go, but if you believe that you can't communicate who you are, that will cause just as many problems as you were sitting in here. Because right here, we're already sitting in doubt. There are always these layers, this heaviness that sits on top of us. And that's the same here if we haven't been sitting with it. Okay? It's challenging all the way through, but it becomes more challenging about halfway through because we are asserting a new sense of self. We are asserting a new sense of clarity. Again, we've reframed. It's happening for me, not to me. Now we're moving into the other side of this. Now we see we've come all the way through the year and we're back here. Am I clear on what my soul really wants? This year has happened for me, not to me. All of this sitting in, these changes, these shifts, they're going to be disruptive. They're going to feel unsettling. You're going to go through emotional shifts. You're going to have to sink out of your head and let your body just experience things as they come up. And that is a challenge. You're going to have to get the right help and support to be able to move out of your mind, not dissociating, right? Relaxing in between these things. There's a lot of relaxation that we need because this eats up so much energy. Communicating it, the emotions, the shifts, the energy underneath the surface isn't always matching the surface level stuff. So you're going to feel like you're not getting as much done. Okay. But the clarity that your soul needs is so important. And you have to know the people, the support system that will ride with you to the end. Who can I be raw and honest and real with? Really, truly. And at this point in the year, that is where we are coming. We might still be having conversations. You know what? We're going to continue to change. We're going to continue to have these conversations, but we are thinking now about where we started. And we are thinking about what was it last year and how have I moved through that this year? How have I centered and focused that energy? Some forgiveness. And to me, that's going to be something related to this shift here. This might be self-forgiveness. This might be forgiveness for things that we have felt or believed or chased after our whole lives based on old beliefs. But it's going to be, again, the sense of neutrality. Why didn't I see it before? Why didn't I understand this sooner? A sense of neutralizing the shame and the guilt that is inside of us in our spirit level. There's layers of it in there and we don't know where it came from. And we don't have to know where it came from. We don't have to do anything with it. We just have to let it go. We have to let it melt away. Focus on the big picture because that's what we're doing, right? Out of our mind. The reason we're sitting in all this, the reason we're doing all of this, and that's going to be clear next year. A year from now, we are going to know maybe have a better idea of what the big picture is. You are entering a time of happiness. Do you see how sitting in this heaviness, there's a sense of restriction here right now. We don't believe in all that is ahead of us. And we are afraid. I'll be 100% with you. I know what it feels like. We get afraid to just relax into it. We get afraid that all of our hard work is going to be broken down and diminished. And then when we go to translate these things or to share or we're excited about things, people don't always understand. They don't always get as excited as we do. But to sit with this work, to sit even quietly, even alone, is more than worth it. It's like we're looking for something that we can't quite see because there's a fog. Okay? And what we have to do is focus on the horizon. And that is what we're doing here. That is what we have been doing. Reframing our entire experience so that way we can focus our energy where it needs to go. Are we clear on what our souls really want? Are we able to reframe and to refocus, to believe in our divine energy, to believe in the great work we are doing merely from just sitting still, merely from just relaxing into it, relaxing into our beliefs, letting ourselves shift and communicating those things and reflecting by sitting down with a journal? Can we go through this entire journey just by relaxing a little bit more, being a little easier on ourselves? I don't know. What do you think? Pre-book this at a discounted price for Black Friday and the holiday season to get started for the new year. This whole new year, new me thing. We're looking at things from a whole different angle now. We're going to change the way that we see ourselves, the way that we are looking at the world, the way the world looks at us. And we're going to stand firmly and confidently in what our souls really want. Available 2024. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.